What's up guys, KG, Rough to be Buff TV. We are back today with a strict mobility movement flow. All you're gonna need is your body weight. Completely follow along. We're gonna transition from one movement to the next. I think you guys are really gonna like today's workout. All right, so let's get started. The first thing we're gonna start off with is a wide base with your feet. We're gonna go into some side lunges. You're gonna open up your groin. You're gonna sit your hips back and down. We're gonna alternate right to left. Like I said, you're sitting your hips back and down. Little stretch in the groin. Back stays nice and straight here. If you're having a hard time keeping your back straight, get your elbows up, sit the hips back and down, side lunges. Really good exercise to start mobilizing your hips. Also a good opportunity to keep your back straight, get your erectors firing. Next thing, I like to do this at the very beginning to get the whole system warmed up. Hands overhead, overhead squats, nice and low. A few pulses here. You're continually reaching high for the roof as you go through a few overhead pulse squats here. You need to be reaching for the roof, trying to keep your back straight, your chin tucked down as you go through some overhead pulse squats. This is going to get the whole engine fired up really quickly. Overhead pulse squats are done. From there, we're gonna slow the pace down. Drop down to your knees. We're gonna go right leg pigeon. Right leg pigeon stretch. Back leg goes straight. Right leg goes underneath the hip and torso. And you're just gonna chill. There's a few different variations you can do with the pigeon. You can kind of sit here. You can rock left and right. Kind of an advanced pigeon if you want to get some extension through your back and spine. You can open up your chest, retract the shoulder blades, and then transition to overhead. That really gets your mid-back, your erectors firing. Like I said, you can also just chill on the ground. You don't have to do whatever feels best for your body, basically. But one more time, overhead extension, some scaptions. We'll switch legs. Oh man, my left is always so much tighter than my right. We all got a tighter side based off of sitting positions, whatever you're doing throughout the day. I need to remind myself to start with my left hand side or demo with my left hand side. With the left one, I like to kind of roll the hip to the ground. If my right leg is back, my left leg is forward, you can reach out to your right and intensify that stretch and just let that hip sit back and stretch. I definitely need more time on the right hip and glute. Okay, from there, you guys are gonna flip onto your backs, scoot your butts down a little bit, lay flat on your back. We're gonna go into a happy baby. You're gonna have your elbows on the insides of your knees, grab the bottoms of your feet, keep your head back, and then happy baby. Lock your legs out, and then drop your heels towards your butt. Lock out. You can also kind of bring the feet together. There's no wrong way to be a happy baby. And they can come at wide angles or narrow. Awesome dynamic stretch for your calves, your hamstrings, your feet. Okay. Now that the happy baby is done, we'll go into a hurdler stretch. I like the hurdler stretch because it opens up the quad, opens up the hip. Keep the foot tucked. Don't let it externally rotate. I don't like the way this feels. I don't like the way that looks on the knee. If you don't have the flexion in the ankle, then just skip this stretch. But get that foot tucked and then keep your knee towards the ground and stretch out the quad. Rotate the shoulders away from the tucked leg. Awesome stretch for your hip. Opening up the crease of that hip, which is kind of a commonly tight area. Could use some lengthening. And then you'll switch sides. Tuck opposite foot. Oh, nice good rotation in the shoulders. Remember, I'm keeping this knee, I'm not letting it raise off the ground. I'm keeping it towards the ground. Oh, as I get a good rotation in my shoulders. Moving right along. You're not gonna have to move very far, just kick one foot out. Lock your legs. Box your toes up. Bring your toes up towards your chest or towards your knees. And let's take 2 deep breaths. In through your nose, down into your belly. Nice, good exhale. You can go out through the mouth, out through the nose, mix it up. It's all good. Exhale. And then just a toe touch. You go as far as your body will allow you. Something I like to do here also is tuck the chin. When I'm at like a full hamstring stretch, tuck the chin and then rotate a little bit in the neck. Oh, it's a classic toe touch. Feels good to kind of open up the low lats, lower back. Okay, let's get up onto our feet. Next movement, we're gonna go through some thoracic rotations. So you're gonna squat down. I call this stance the lazy gorilla. Just squat down. Don't completely bottom out. Don't lose tension. So my ass is kind of up. My back should be straight. Now my hands are gonna be in the middle here, fingertips to the ground. You're gonna rotate to the roof. Oh. And get a good stretch in that mid back. Take your time here, don't force anything. Oh, awesome exercise for some rotation in your T-spine, your thoracic spine. Now I'm using this arm for leverage and rotating and looking to the roof. Oh, I'm gonna do like 4 or 5 more of these because these just feel really good. If your legs are burning, just stand up or tough it out. We're not using any weight. It's okay to be in a position of discomfort. Oh, perfect. Next thing, some bootstrappers and some toe raises. We'll do this one straight on first. You go back down into that deep squat. Grab the tips of your toes. You're gonna lock your legs out. Fingertips to the ground and raise your toes. Get a few rotations in the ankles, back into a deep squat. If you can't sit in a deep squat like this, it might be because you have poor ankle flexion. You don't have good flexion in your ankles. Your feet might be a little tied up. You might just be tightly wound, basically from probably the low back or neck down. But practice sitting in this deep squat position. Lock out, toe raise, a few spirit toes. Get the spirit toes going. Oh, deep squat. You can still do thoracic rotations from this position. Just a little trickier, just a little tighter. But I can definitely feel my low back starting to open up. Oh, okay. Next movement here. I love this movement. We're basically gonna get in a static lunge and we're gonna go into a rotation. So broad base with your feet. I'm gonna go, whoops, lose my belt. I'm gonna go into a lunge. I'm gonna grab, rotate, and then stand. Plant your back foot, get deep into your lunge, grab the knee, rotate. Just like you're smacking your kids in the back seat. What's that, little Jimmy? You're getting granola everywhere? Whack. boom, they're behaved instantly. Oh, good way to get the quads warmed up, the hips warmed up, and this kind of bleeds in to that lazy gorilla we were just doing, the thoracic rotations. We'll do one more here, lunge. Oh, big rotation. Now let's do one more on each side, just because this feels so damn good. Lunge, pause, rotate, boom, boom, boom. Little Jimmy's paying attention now. Last one. I'm just kidding, guys. All in good fun. Oh, just jokes. Actually, I'll just give you one more from the front so you can see I'm grabbing, oh, rotating. If I'm still moving, you should still be moving. Lunge, oh, big rotation. So next thing, we're gonna go Romanian. Let's see how we're doing on time. We're gonna go Romanian to overhead extension. So you're gonna need to balance here. Now, one foot is planted, soft bend in the knee. You're gonna go through a hinge here. So hinging in the hip, the shoulders stay back, the back stays straight. You're not in a rounded Mr. Burns position. Shoulders back, and they maintain staying back. Your chest is up, you're hinging in the hip. When you get to the bottom of this hinge, I'm firing this back glute. You guys have probably seen me do this a whole bunch. But now these hands are gonna go into overhead extension. And just hold and pause. And then hands come back down. Go ahead and stand up, switch feet. Take your time. Soft bend in the knee. Remember, we're not locked out here. Soft bend in the knee. Hinge. Oh, until I feel a good stretch in this hamstring. You can see I'm struggling to balance. Hands go overhead. High extension here. Oh. Hands back down. Stand tall. We'll hold the next one for about 10 seconds. Deep breath. Hinge. Get to the bottom of that hinge. Soft bend here. We'll go 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stand. Woo, that gets the low back firing. And remember, you're basically reaching for where the wall meets the roof. Hinge steady, 10-second hold, down to the bottom. My right toe is much more unstable. We'll go 4, 5, 6, 7, reach, 8, 9, good. Stand tall, excellent. Woo. That's a tough one. That's a super tough one. Nice, good deep breath. Hamstrings, hips. Let's go into Spider-Man's with a hamstring stretch. Push-up position. Tips of the toes, basically a high plank or straight arm plank. I love this position. Get really good at your plank. But right now I need to see a big step. Spider-Man, if you've been watching my last videos or you do a lot of mobility work, good chance you're doing Spider-Mans. Low elbow, rotation, hamstring stretch. I'm gonna switch sides. Big step. Look where my ankle is in comparison to my shoulder. They're stacked. This is my crappy side. Low elbow. Oh, nice rotation. Oh, hamstring. Hammy for your mammy right here. And then switch sides. Low elbow. Rotate. Hamstring stretch. See, my hands are on the inside of the foot here. Big step, low elbow. Good rotation. Big hamstring stretch. Okay, moving on. Next thing, classic All-time favorite inchworm push-up. So toe touch the toes, walk yourself out while keeping your legs straight. Get into a push-up position. You can give me somewhere between 1 to 3 push-ups, and then walk yourself back. Stand up tall. Oh. A few Michael Phelps's, opens and closes. Toe touch. Legs stay nice and straight on the way out. 3 push-ups. You can do some fast push-ups, some slow push-ups. Legs are locked out on the way back. You should be warming up by now. I mean, I'm taking you basically through full dynamic warm-up. Toe touch, walk yourself out. 3 push-ups. 1, 2, 3. Okay, moving on. It's a straight arm side plank. This is a big, like, oblique lat stretch. Like I said, this is a little advanced, so good luck. What you want to do here is get this arm elbow locked. Stack your joints. Now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get a stretch in my lat all the way down to the top of my hip. When I feel that stretch, I'm going to raise my hips and engage the side. Now watch, I'm dropping the hip, the elbow stays straight. Advanced exercise, not for everybody. Stretch out the sides and the lat, my elbow's locked here. And then bring that hip up. Legs are stacked, ankles are stacked. Good stretch. I like to really accentuate that stretch. Oh, I'm falling back a little bit. One more time. Big stretch. Right back up. Then you're just gonna switch sides. I like to switch sides without having anything touch down. I don't know why, I just do. Same setup. I'm stretching out the bottom here, stretching out this bottom area. Oh, this side is much tighter. But it's getting a really good stretch. Good chance you probably have never tried this exercise at this style, but some time and some patience and you'll definitely figure it out. I think that was 4. Oh. Okay, let's do some wrists and some forearms. You're gonna take your palms, you're going to flip them away from you, and then just get a good stretch in your forearms. You can kind of shift left, shift right, whatever feels good, whatever feels clever. And then we'll flip the palms. So we flipped them away the first time, and then we'll flip them together here. And just shift left and right, up and down. Just open up the wrists, the forearms. I don't mind if the palm raises off the ground a little bit. Totally fine. Okay, moving along. Let's go back to some full body movements. We're going to do reverse lunge, overhead reach. So it is exactly as it sounds. Step back, lunge. Do not touch the bottom or touch the back knee to the ground. Step back, plant, sink and reach. Reverse lunge, sink down nice and low, open up that abdomen, and reach nice and high. Step back, sink low, nice big rotation, or excuse me, overhead extension. Really reach here. You can also open up the chest if you want. Whatever feels clever. That's what I like about these movement flows, is that once you kind of get a good complex of movements that you like, you pretty much have any freedom to move however you want. So we're gonna go into a thinking man kind of a yoga-esque type posture, pose, or stretch. I'm kind of crappy at this one. You're gonna cross over, just like you're sitting in a chair. See, I'm balancing on one foot. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into a thinking man. And get a little stretch on the hip. I'll give you kind of a lateral view. I like to test how low I can get. This is basically just another version of the pigeon stretch that we did earlier. I'm so much tighter on my left. I'll give you guys kind of a lateral view here. Cross over, and I can already feel, oh, that's not so bad. I guess it's kind of warm. But I can definitely feel I'm a little more restricted on this side. And I don't force anything, I don't force anything here. I just go based on what I feel is giving me a nice good stretch. Oh man, that's definitely a tight side. That's all I got for you today. So I just wanted to take you through a light movement mobility flow. You guys need things like this before you work out. Maybe on the days where you're really tired or beat up, or just any day where maybe you're stuck at a desk and you need to mix up your movement. These are all really good movements that pretty much anybody can do. I know some of them are a little advanced, but I'd say about 85% of that's totally doable. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm KG, this is Rough to Be Buff TV. Thank you so much for watching my vlogs and supporting the channel. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.